On Tuesday, the 4th of November 2025, a young TikTok boy by the name of Endurance Udeke, also known as Scudi on social media, died during an operation carried out by the Economy and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, at his house at Periwinkle Estate in Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, Nigeria. Although some sources are saying that it was not his house, that was just a short-let apartment that he was renting with his friends, other sources claim that was his actual apartment. Now, not much is known about Scudi, except that he was an active TikToker who posted a lot of videos on TikTok. Even though his last post was somewhere around 2024, it's unclear if some of his recent videos were deleted at the break of this incident, or if he never posted anything at all this year. Or maybe, as TikTok usually is, he got another account and did not have access to that one. I can relate. But he's a known TikToker with a good amount of followers. But after the news broke out that he died during this raid, a lot of people began holding the EFCC accountable. They are blaming the EFCC of causing his death, citing that the people who carried out the raid that day should be held accountable because this is their fault. However, the EFCC responded with a statement explaining what had happened that day. And according to them, they had come to that estate to carry out a raid on people suspected to be doing internet fraud. Yahoo boys. They claimed that while they were in the estate, the operation was going smoothly, that they had even arrested 4 other people without any problems. But when Scudi and his friends learned that the EFCC were in their estate, they decided to run. They decided to flee. And in the process, the 2 men jumped from a 4-story building, which caused them serious injuries that landed them in the hospital. Unfortunately, Scudi's injuries were ones that he could not survive. The EFCC claimed that they rushed him and his friend to the hospital and they were being taken care of, but unfortunately Scudi, died in the process. His injuries were not something that he could survive. Most people who were there said that many other people jumped because his friend jumped with him, but the friend is still alive. It may have been the way Scudi jumped and the way he landed. They said that he may have hit his head on the ground in the process of jumping, while the others mostly broke a leg or fell on other parts of their body that wasn't so critical. The EFCC also mentioned that Scudi's family were immediately involved and they explained the situation to them, including the part where they tried to save his life. They tagged the incident unfortunate, but clearly take no blame in it, saying that, it was not their fault, that they were doing their job and in the process he lost his life. They cited that this is not going to stop them from doing their job, basically saying that they will continue to carry out sting operations as part of their fight against cyber crimes. After the incident, some of Scudi's friends began to post about him, as many of them are calling out the EFCC and still holding them accountable for causing the death of this young man, claiming that the EFCC only targets young boys because they don't go after politicians who are stealing big amounts of money, that they're only coming after these young boys that they will extort from and basically oppress, and sometimes they just arrest people based on proximity. You could be in a house and not even know what is going on and they'll pick everybody there. It's such an unfortunate incident, and the EFCC is a commission on its own, so it's hard to blame it on one person. It's hard to say, oh, one person did it. Clearly, these guys were trying to flee when this horrible thing happened. And it's one way to look at it, it's another way to see it, because for what it's worth, this is not an armed robbery. So if it was an armed robbery and this had happened, we would have blame the armed robbers for causing the deaths, because we have seen something like this when armed robbers came to attack a building, a young lady jumps to her death, and the armed robbers are being held accountable for it because they caused the death. So, but now that the EFCC is the one in this situation, what is the difference? Is it because this is the EFCC and their illegal commission? It could be. It most likely could be because armed robbery is illegal, and this was a legal thing that they said that they were doing. I don't know if sting operations require warrants, but let's assume for some reason there was no warrant for them to come there. Shouldn't that be something that could be argued in court? Like, where are my lawyers? Please, if you're a lawyer, I need you right now. Is there a way the family of Scudi, assuming they had the capacity to take this further, that they can claim any damages on the EFCC? Is there a way that this can be done? Because we saw it in Abuja, where armed robbers came and the lady jumped, and they're basically being held accountable and responsible for it. And now we are seeing this now with EFCC. What can be done? In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, yes, the EFCC did not do anything. They did not push him. They did not threaten him to jump. They had not even come to his apartment at the time. So the boys had only heard that the EFCC was around and they were coming towards them. However, that was the cause of it. Could it be argued that if the EFCC did not have the warrant or the slip or the clearance to be in that building, then that was an illegal search or an illegal sting operation, and therefore should that mean that they should be held accountable or liable for it? It's just a question, because most times these people just break into an apartment. They just target an apartment and go into it without any clearance. I don't know if they need one. Don't they? Without any direction, without any orders. Their oga at the top self may not even know that they were there. Can the EFCC just show up at any building they feel like young boys are, and they can just arrest anyone they feel like? Because if that is the case, they can show up anywhere. But if there is like a warrant or something that has been legalized for them to be in that building that day, that particular moment, then I guess they were on the right. However, if a warrant is needed and they did not have it that day, then maybe the Scudi family would have a case, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's still a way to look at. They tried to help him. They took him to the hospital. They gave him medical care. They called his parents and they basically explained the situation. And I think that could count for something. It's just unfortunate. It's sad. It's painful. But you guys let me know your thoughts.